Good day, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Team Fortress 2. Today we are going to be playing as the Demoman, or the half-Demo Knight, using the grenade launcher, the splendid screen, and my melee slot is being taken up by the Scotsman Skullcutter, which is going to be the topic of this video. But first I'm going to start off by introducing this new series real quick, which was suggested a couple of videos ago by one of my viewers named Coco Snooty. And this is going to basically individually talk about weapons in this game that are pretty underused and underrated, and how they work in the game, how you might benefit from them, or what their downsides are. And we're not going to waste any more time. Let's jump right into the Scotsman Skullcutter, which is the subject of this video. You saw the stats a couple of seconds ago. The attributes of this: you get a 20% damage bonus on the axe itself, which is pretty good, honestly. I mean, having a bit of extra damage on a melee weapon certainly isn't bad, depending on the risk that you're going to take when equipping it. And that risk being, with this weapon, you move 15% slower. So basically, you move at the speed of a soldier, or maybe even less at that. Now the problems arise with a good example right here. You see, I get lit on fire. Now, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it to that dispenser in time had that medic not been there to save my life. And this is pretty much where things start going downhill. The Scotsman Skullcutter, it's not a weapon that I recommend for offense. I haven't personally tried it out for offense, but seeing as how playing with defensive measures that you get to fall back a bit more often, that's probably why I prefer using it on defense more than I do offense, because the slower movement speed, it's not very that good. It's also one of the reasons why I don't really play heavy that often. I play soldier a lot more because I get to rocket jump a lot more often. The rocket jumping, it increases your mobility so much, but with the Demoman, the only mobility you're going to really get is sticky jumping. There is pipe bomb jumping, but that's really only used for trick jumps and getting up into sneaky places, and I tried to say places and spots at the same time, but it didn't work. That's pretty much all that really needs to be said about the Scotsman Skullcutter, if I have to be honest, and it's obviously why this weapon is not really used that often. I mean, I suppose I could talk about some of the loadouts that could be used with this thing. Generally, when I play Demoman, I much prefer to play as half Demo Knight, so as such, playing as the half Demo Knight and playing on defense, not only do I have the ability to give myself a bit more measurable ground behind me so that way I can escape from a bad situation, such as right here for instance, but I can also at least have something to ensure me that I can have a bit more of an advantage against enemy players. I equip the grenade launcher so that way I can at least have some ranged attacks. I don't recommend that you play with the next type of gameplay using the Scotsman Skullcutter, which would be playing as a full Demo Knight. Sure, you're going to get a boost from the Charge and Targe or the Splendid Screen, but remember, it's only temporary and doesn't recharge as fast as equipping the Persian Persuader would. As such, I don't really think this weapon is worth using as a full Demo Knight. Half Demo Knight, yes. And finally, the last loadout that you can really use the Skullcutter on would have to be just the standard default Demoman loadout. And that I haven't really tested. Again, I just don't really see it working as well, because the Demoman is made to be a lot more mobile than a soldier. And because he has a lot more in terms of medium range, chances are that you are going to be needing to protect yourself, which is what makes the Scotsman Skullcutter somewhat good, but it also seems somewhat contradictory to equip it, seeing as how you're going to be moving at the speed of a soldier. And chances are, if you're going to get a melee battle into a melee battle, such as at the speed of a soldier, then you're not really going to have that much luck, honestly. That's really all that needs to be said about Demoman loadouts using the Skullcutter. The gameplay is coming down to a close. I get second place on the scoreboard, probably because I stood next to the payload cart in the last couple of seconds of the game. So, thank you guys very much for watching, have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video. And remember, the Scotsman Skullcutter, try it out, see what you think about it. Anyways guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.